Stop. Don't buy that Pix package or All Access. Wait, what? Yep, don't click Add to Cart until you check out our new deals page at both WagerTalk and Sports Memo, where you can find all the latest offers, promotions, and coupons available all in one place. These deals are updated daily and can be found by clicking Deals in the nav at WagerTalk or Sports Memo, going to wt.buzz/deals, or scanning the QR code on your screen.
To First Pitch, Wager Talk's premier MLB betting show on the Wager Talk YouTube channel. I am Drew Martin, joined by Brian Leonard and Tony Finn of WagerTalk.com. It's $9 Monday. Check both of them out, myself as well, at the site. We are breaking down 3 games on tonight's slate. We got best bets at the end. Going around the horn here, Brian Leonard at BLeonard Sports on Twitter. Brian, welcome in. Actually, guys, #1 NHL handicapper the last 2 years at WagerTalk.com, knows his MLB as well for the last 5 years, are profitable on the diamond. Brian, happy Monday morning to you, man.
Yes, happy Monday to everyone. One play up for my clients in hockey today. It's a $9 play, $9 Monday. #1, as you mentioned, the last 2 years combined. A 2 and a 2 adds up to 1. Who knows? But that's the way it is in hockey this year. And 2 baseball plays up for clients also, not selling them individually, but they're up there for our extended service clients.
All right, Brian, guys, go check that out. We got Tony Finn as well, guys. And, of course, good time to be betting NBA. And Tony, #1 NBA profit leader, 80% ROI in the NBA regular season. He's getting after it in the NBA playoffs as well. And he knows his baseball. Tony, welcome in, buddy.
Good morning, guys, or afternoon, depending on where you're at. Thanks for having me. Plays are up. I have a 5%. I have a big ticket tonight, and I've tagged it with labeled a big ticket, along with I have 2 top of the ticket, wingmen to go along with the main pilot there. So, and NBA as well, up and available. Wager Talk only. Come get it.
That's it, guys. It's a good day to check out the site. I am off of a loss last night, but looking to bounce back. Guys, let's get after it here. First game up, St. Louis Cardinals hosting the Toronto Blue Jays. Brian, coming to you first. We get Jose Berrios on the hill for the Jays up against Miles Mikolas for the Cardinals. This guy's been good, talking about Mikolas. Berrios, not so much, but, he's a high ceiling guy. We'll see if he can turn it around. -115, that's the St. Louis Cardinals as the home favorite. 7.5 being the total. Are you liking anything Jays and Cardinals tonight, Brian?
Yeah, I think we could have made a nice bet earlier in the year saying at this time of the season, Michael Mikolas will have a better strikeout percentage than Jose Berrios. 18.7 to 15.3. Neither one of them impressive, but Berrios 15.3 strikeout percentage. In fact, if you look across his entire StatCast board, the only thing he's decent at is walks at 7.1%. It's good, not great. But his last start, his numbers looked better. But if you looked a little bit deeper, he was running through the same problems. He was just going deep in the count. Just wasn't striking people out. He just hasn't been the same. It wouldn't surprise me if he's hurt and they're trying to work his way through it. But he has not been very good this year. And I'm kind of surprised that we're getting St. Louis in this situation at this number. St. Louis has brought up some nice guys from the minors that have performed very well so far. Yepes was a nice addition when they brought him in playing first base and DH, and they brought a big power hitter up this week. So they're pretty loaded right now. St. Louis is a team that's they just brought up Liberatore, sent him down for 1 day, and because of the injury to Matz, he's back up again. He's another one of those guys that has a big, bright future for him in St. Louis. So I think this Cardinals team the rest of the year, if they can stay healthy, they can impress some people, and hopefully we can get us some winners. Today I lean with them a little bit here over Toronto. We're still having a little bit of problem with their bats. If you take a look at their lineup, Bichette's starting to come around a little bit. Guerrero's been good, but he hasn't been great like he was last year. Espinal's probably their best overall player this year. They've got a lot of guys that just haven't played well. You're not playing well when Bradley Zimmer's getting a lot of time out in the outfield. So I don't want any part of Toronto here. If it was anything, it'd be St. Louis for me. And that's a rarity because I'm not a big fan of Nicholas, but he's been very good this year, and you got to stick behind him. He's pitching well.
Tony, coming to you next, Brian brings up some good points in terms of, Toronto, their bats haven't really been what we thought they would be coming into this season. And sure enough, it speaks towards their over-under trend so far this season. Huge under-trender north of the border. But going up against Mikolas, I like the Cardinals here, Tony. I really do. I mean, he's rocking that great mustache. In my opinion, the best mustache in MLB right now. He's got that good changeup. I don't know. It'd be Cardinals or pass for me. What are you thinking in St. Louis tonight?
Well, then I won't have to log on to my app and bet Toronto. I'll just call you. We can reduce the juice, right, between me and you. No, I'm opposite you guys a little bit here on this one for two reasons. One, because as you mentioned, Toronto, they're still hitting the ball hard. Listen, Toronto hasn't had a big problem hitting the ball. They have their exit velocity on most of their guys. Most of the strong lineup is close or as good as it was last year when they hit the ball all over the place. The problem is it's key hits. They have done they've been unlucky to some degree, but it's runners in scoring position that they have not converted on. They're not getting the 2-out hits that they got last year. They're not getting the 2-out hits that they're capable of getting. St. Louis has been abysmal against quality right-handed pitching. I mean, yesterday they did score 18 runs against a couple guys that were right-handed that I think the three of us could probably possibly find a hole in the defense. The St. Louis defense is great, but anytime this team is going up against a right-hander that is quality right-hander, and certainly Berrios is a quality right-hander. He hasn't been that great this year. He's 28. Those guys go through some growing pains. And his last start was good. It was the first time he'd not given up a run in his 8 starts. So positive regression is on the way for Berrios. Certainly not Mikko. Mikko, if he doesn't keep the ball on the ground, it's hard for him to keep it in the yard. He's done a really good job of soft contacts this year, but in this situation with Berrios on the mound, St. Louis facing a quality right-hander, I'm all over I'm all over Toronto. And fortunately, in this situation, they're on the road, so I might even play some plus money on this. I'll do an alternative line and get Toronto about -1.5. I think about plus 170, 75.
Oh, a little reverse run line there for Tony. Like in the Blue Jays, you can get them plus money right now, plus 105, kind of widely available on the money line as well. So, hey, guys, that's what makes a market. That's what the show's for. Give you different looks on these games as we head down the list here. Tony, coming to you first in this one, we get the Cleveland Guardians, that is, versus the Houston Astros. Plesac versus Garcia. We're seeing the Astros near -200 favorites. They were 200. We're seeing mostly -195 out there. 8.5 the total. Tony, what are you thinking here in Houston? They've won 11 of their last 12 home games. They're hot right now talking about the Stros. Are they worth this price tag?
Well, it's a tough price to lay, only because all of the Houston pitchers, save Verlander off of Tommy John, right, have their ups and downs. They really do. It's a young staff. So if they're not avoiding hard contacts, sometimes they'll get an umpire with a small zone and they're walking too many. But this is one of the most balanced teams in baseball. When Altuve's hitting, this team is incredibly hard to beat. And in this situation tonight, -200 might be a little. I don't think that price tag by the books is incorrect. I think that line will stay roughly right there where it is, and they're getting what they want, a balanced, basically a balanced book or a balanced handle on the game. But there's no question, Houston's a better team. It's a big price to lay on a pitcher that has a tendency to be asleep at the wheel sometimes. So I'm away from this game either way. If I wasn't away and I didn't know anything about these two teams and one's hot and one's not, I wouldn't lay the 200. I'd still find a way to be on the Astros, maybe a team total.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, the Astros have been hot here, Brian. They've also had Cleveland's number, winning 13 of the last 17 games, dating all the way back to the playoffs, the ALDS in 2018 against the Guardians. So they've dominated them here. What are you thinking? Near minus 200 price tag with the Astros at home.
Yeah, I can't lay that number with the Astros, but I may be able to play the over here. Luis Garcia is a good pitcher, but he does have a couple of weaknesses. One is a hard hit rate of 41%. He is a good strikeout pitcher, 26.6% strikeout number. But other than Fremil Reyes, which is a terrible 40.1% strikeout percentage, the Indians put the bat on the ball. They've got, take a look at some of these starters. Naylor, 13.6 strikeout rate. Rosario, 12.8. Jose Ramirez, 8.6. We've got Myles Straw, 17.3. Quan, 7.9. He's got a lot of publicity out of not striking out. As long as the Indians could the Guardians could put the ball in play, I think they can have some success here. Obviously, for Cleveland, the starting pitcher has had some problems so far this year, and he hasn't looked good at all. Can't strike anybody out, has not looked good. Zach Plesac, his strikeout percentage, 13.8 on the season. Doesn't walk a lot of players, but if you're going to only strike out 13.8, it's going to be a lot of balls in play. And as we know from Houston, this is a good hitting team, and they also don't do much striking out other than Maldonado, a catcher who only plays half the time at 30.6. So not too many strikeouts in this game. I think the ball will be in play, which means we got a better chance to score some runs. I'll take the over here.
Sure, like the analysis there, Brian. A lot of bat the ball. Looking towards the over in Houston tonight. Hitters Park as well. We got one game left here, guys. We got best bets at the end. Brian Leonard, Tony Finn, Drew Martin. Milwaukee Brewers at the San Diego Padres. Guys, it's the nightcap for tonight's card. Brian, coming to you first. We get Adrian Hauser on the hill for the Brew Crew versus Nick Martinez going for the Padres. These two teams, similar records here, one game apart. The Padres, surprisingly, in second place. Not so much surprisingly, them being in second place in the NL West. Brian, they're the most profitable team in baseball right now, just under 10 units. If you've been betting them each and every game this season, coming in about a minus 110 price tag right now. They were minus 115, bought down a little bit. Total of 8. What are you liking in Petco tonight?
Yeah, normally after sweeping the series in San Francisco, you may look to fade the Padres, but they're playing the Brewers, a team they expect to play if they get to the playoffs, another team that expects to be there. Nick Martinez going tonight as Clevenger is back on the DL. A good thing for the Padres is they're like 7 or 8 deep in the starting rotation, so it's not going to affect them much. Gore pitched yesterday, and another good outing for him. But Nick Martinez is a guy, he's probably the weakest out of the group, but he's really not that bad. He's done pretty well as a pitcher. He does walk 10.4%, which is a concern, and Hauser 10.8. So both pitchers do have walking problems, too many players on base. But I think the line is pretty much where it should be. I do want to point out, a lot of people talking Manny Machado to win the MVP. Check out Kristen Yelich's numbers. If you take a look at the xWOBA, 389, 389. Ex-batting average, 295, 311. Slugging, 546, 519. So basically, Yelich is just as good as Machado is in the advanced numbers, and yet nobody's talking about him. I saw somebody the other day, I think they played him at 200-1 to win the MVP. Likely not going to happen, obviously, at 201 odds, but that's a pretty good long shot bet. I'd rather play that than Machado, who I believe is the favorite right now. So in the game here, I don't have anything really strong either way. But if you're one of the guys that likes to play futures, see what you can get out of Christian Yelich to win the MVP in the National League.
I like that tidbit, Brian. Good stuff in the futures market. We get Tony Finn. What are you liking in Petco Park tonight, man?
You know, the Padres playing pretty well right now. In fact, playing surface-wise pretty well. Record-wise, outstanding. Sweeping the Giants. Good stuff, especially in division there in the NL West. The Giants have kind of fallen back into their slumber period, which they had about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and they kind of got hot and got cold again. They may see this, with this with with a lineup in baseball that is different every night because of the platoon situation that they use there in San Francisco. However, I've been waiting, guys, for the Pythag, what they call a Pythag fade, the Pythagorean win-loss and base runs, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Padres are their record's much better than they should be, or actually played kind of to the point where Brian was bringing it up too. But the lack of line movement here, I'm glad I waited, because I almost played against Padres with the Giants this weekend, thinking the Giants would kind of come out of that slumber they were in. But the lack of line movement here really doesn't surprise me, to be honest with you. Nick Martinez, he's showing all the signs of some regression, negative regression. Pretty good ERA, 3.89, I think is what it is. But the 4.66, 4.67 xERA and FIP point to some negative regression. Hauser, last couple starts haven't been real good, guys. But he's in the opposite spectrum. You got 3.22 ERA, a 3.69 xERA, and 3.15 FIP. So I think he's going to be able to sustain what he's been doing and get a little bit better. The Brewers ranked third in WBA against right-handed pitching, hitting really well, slugging really well, despite one of the higher strikeout rates in baseball. This is a team that I would be on tonight. Milwaukee in San Diego, and I'm not a huge Milwaukee backer, not until they get a little more consistent offensively. But I'll play against Martinez and see Hauser start getting some positive regression from that 63% strand rate and increases ground ball percentage. So give me Milwaukee here.
Looking towards the Brew Crew. Guys, time for best bets, best part of the show here. I'll start us off heading back to Houston. The second game we talked about, we're talking the Cleveland Guardians versus the Houston Astros. Garcia versus Plesac. Looks like the Astros minus 195 favorites, 8.5 the total. Guys, I'm betting the Astros on the -1 line, not the run line 1.5, -1. Easy way to do that, guys. Money line is minus 190. Near that, minus 190 is available. We get run line at plus 100. What you do to get Houston -1, minus 145 is you bet risk 145 to win 100 by risking $95 on the money line and $50 on the run line. That will give you the Houston Astros -1, minus 145. Couple reasons why I'm doing that. One, I don't like to lay the run line with the home team for multiple reasons, and laying minus 195 for a best bet. I just don't like betting that much, laying that much big here. But a couple reasons why I like the Astros. We touched on them earlier in the show. They've won 11 of their last 12 home games. They've dominated Cleveland, going 13-4 the last 17 since 2018 against this team. Plus the fact their pitchers 2 earned runs or less in 11 straight games. They've been dominating on the hill. They're at home here. Lay the -1, minus 145 on the Houston Astros. That's my best bet. Throw it over to Brian Leonard here. Check him out, WagerTalk.com. For the last 5 seasons in MLB are profitable, and he's the #1 NHL handicapper at WagerTalk.com over the last 2 seasons. Check him out there, $9 Monday. Brian, throw it over to you. Final thoughts for the show, and what's your best bet?
Once again, the plays up for $9 Monday, the NHL. If you buy the entire day, you get our 2 baseball plays, and this is going to be one of them right here. I'll use this as my free play. We all know that Colorado is a team that's made a lot of money at home, and they're lousy on the road, but I think this line has gotten a little bit out of hand here. Opened about 125. Now we're seeing upwards of 135, 140 on Pittsburgh, and I prefer the Colorado side here. Chad Kuhl pitching for Colorado. He has been in Pittsburgh the last few years. Started last year in Pittsburgh, and actually for his home starts, he did very well. For some reason, they put him in the bullpen, and at the end of the season, you always have your meetings with the team, and they talked about him coming back as a reliever, and he didn't want to come back as a reliever. He says, I'm good enough to start for this team, and he even made a comment today. He said nothing against the guys that are there right now starting. He goes, but if you take a look at my numbers against theirs, I deserve to be in that pitching staff. So he's got a little bit something to prove here, and he pitched very well in Pittsburgh last year at home. Last few years at home, he's been much better than he has been on the road. And not only is he going back here and has something to prove, but what I really like about him is when you take a look at his pitch tracking numbers, last year, his four-seam fastball, he threw 365 times all season long. His WOBA was a 420, not very good. This year, out of 5 pitches, that's his least amount that he throws. He throws a 14 fastball only 25 times all season. He's using his breaking balls, his slider, his sinkers, changeup, and his curveball, and that's why he's having so much success in Colorado. But what makes it even more interesting is it's in Colorado, and we all know the ball doesn't break as much in Colorado. So he's having all the success while pitching half of his games in an area in a stadium where you really don't get the ball movement that you do in other places. So now that he's back in Pittsburgh, I think this new repertoire of his is really going to work out well. And when you take a look at the Pittsburgh Pirates, they scored 4 runs yesterday, gave up 18, but they did score 4 off the St. Louis catcher. You go back to the last 10 games that Pittsburgh has played, they have scored 14 total runs against Major League actual pitchers. This offense is really struggling, and now you got a guy coming in here with something to prove. I love this play. This is a real nice play for me on Colorado as an underdog. I don't understand the line move. I'll be on Colorado here.
The Rocks plus 120. Could even get them plus 125 at the Westgate if you're in Las Vegas. We got Tijuana Tony here, WagerTalk.com. Guys, number 1 NBA in terms of profit in the regular season. Big time in the association. Also knows his MLB as well. Tony, final thoughts for the show. And what's your best bet, buddy?
I'm going to go to Chase Field. We're going to talk about an interleague matchup between the Royals and the Diamondbacks, which will be a late start. 81 degrees roughly at first pitch, so really a nice night in Arizona. The roof will be open. No precip in the forecast. Slight breeze, 48 miles per hour, going left to right. Was left to right field foul pole. Yesterday, Royals scored 6 runs early, only to lose 7-6 to a Twins team that murdered Singer and the bullpen there. They didn't murder him on the score essentially, but 18 of Minnesota's 31 batted balls hard hit, 95 plus. Greinke pitches still to soft contact. What I like most about this game, and to make it short before the buzzer buzzed me out of my 1 minute, and that is what Brent Strom has done with this Arizona pitch staff. It's not very good. He has, however, helped Davies a bunch. Davies, 28.6% hard contact. Greinke pitching to soft contact. I like the under. First 5 and game in Chase Field tonight with Greinke and Davies.
All right, guys, that does it for best bets. In recap, we got the Houston Astros -1. You just heard it there from Tony Finn. Royals, D-backs, first 5 under 4.5 and under 8.5 for the game. And Brian Leonard, Rocks plus 123, available plus 125 in Vegas at the Westgate. Guys, check us out, WagerTalk.com. Brian, Tony, and myself, $9 Monday. Great day to check it out. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Come back and join us. Best of luck until then.
Each and every Monday is $9 Monday at both WagerTalk.com and SportsMemo.com, when all daily picks packages are priced at only $9, including 5% best bets, normally priced at $35. As an added bonus, any picks packages loaded early for Overnight Tuesday or action during the week will also be priced at $9 until midnight on Monday. So make sure to take advantage of getting these $25 and $35 picks for only $9 before the clock strikes 12 and they return to regular price.